Welcome to Time of Death. This video is for informational purposes only and in no way meant to glorify or condone violence. In today's video, we'll be discussing the murders of Herman Owens and Patrick Keaton. Both were fatally shot Monday, April 13, 2015 in the 1100 block of East 52nd Street in the Central-Alameda neighborhood of LA, according to county coroner records. Alex White and Darren Williams were subsequently arrested and charged with the murders. The following is the evidence at trial. On April 13, 2015, at approximately 3:20 p.m., BB was standing in the yard of his mother's house with his brother and three friends, neither of which were gang-related. BB heard what he thought were firecrackers and looked up to see a white SUV with two guns shooting out of the passenger side windows. Around 20 rounds were fired. His friends Herman Owens and Patrick Keaton were hit and died of their injuries. BB was not shot but did go to the hospital for a knee injury from diving into the gutter. At the same time, a crossing guard was working at a school up the street from BB's house. She heard gunshots and saw a white SUV driving rapidly in her direction before making a right turn at the intersection. She identified the SUV in a photograph detectives provided and said she saw three young African-American occupants of the car. On May 17, 2015, 3 weeks after the shooting, Detective Jose Calzadillas and his partner interviewed White at the police station. The detective advised White of his Miranda rights, and White said he understood them and began talking to the detective. White acknowledged he was a 4'8" Gangster Crip gang member and that he was in the car during the April 13 shooting. He was equivocal as to whether there were 3 or 4 people in the car. He said a man called Tiny Manson was driving. Darren Williams' moniker was Little Manson, and he identified a picture of the car. Eventually, White asked to see his mother, and the detective let her speak with him. White then asked Detective Calzadillas for a lawyer. At trial, White's incriminating statements to the police were admitted into evidence. The prosecution also presented Williams' cell phone records showing he was in the vicinity of the crime when the shooting occurred, and surveillance footage showing a white SUV that appeared to be a Chevy Traverse traveling on the street where the shooting took place. A firearms expert testified that 14 bullet casings were recovered from the scene, fired from 3 guns. The prosecution also presented evidence of 2 events that happened prior to the shootings. First, in 2007, Darren Williams was convicted of a drive-by shooting less than 2 blocks from the present crime scene. Second, 11 days before the present shooting, Officer Brian Schilling had pulled over a white Chevy Traverse SUV driven by Williams. White was also in the vehicle along with 3 other passengers. Everyone in the SUV was members of the 4'8" Gangster Crips. A gang expert testified that Williams and White were 4'8" Gangster Crip members. A photo was introduced of White and Williams displaying gang signs. White had a pistol tucked in his waistband. Following the trial, the jury convicted White and Williams on all counts. The court sentenced White to life without the possibility of parole on the 2 murder counts, and a concurrent term of 25 years to life for the attempted murder and 15 years to life for the gun enhancement plus a 10-year gang enhancement. Williams was sentenced to 2 consecutive sentences of life without the possibility of parole plus 39 years to life. Herman Owens was 34 years old at the time of death. Patrick Keaton was 19 years old at the time of death.